Previously on Ninjago Cast.
I feel it's important that I take an opportunity to ask every so often some slightly more obscure questions, ones that maybe might not come to mind, but might be the most important questions we ask this evening.
Oh boy.
So I do have to ask, being a master spinjitzu, hypothetically speaking, let's say I'm going 90 miles per hour down the interstate. It's raining, so the highway is completely soaked. And I quickly turn the wheel and start spinning as I hydroplane across this open roadway. Would I be able to, as an elemental master, achieve spinjitzu? Nay, karjitsu?
This is a very important question.
Kids, do not try this at home.
That depends if you've been trained. Need to be trained by a Spinjitzu master. That's just something you can do. So you need to be trained by either Wu or Gamadon or first Spinjitzu master.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Keep the Peace channel. I'm Sakota, and today we're going to review another Ninjago Dragons Rising set. This time it's set number 71791, Zane's Dragon Power Spinjitzu Race Car. What a name. This set has 307 pieces, goes for $34.99 in euros and dollars, and $29.99 in pounds. Without further ado, let's get into the review. First, let's take a look at everything we get in the set. We get for our ninja, Zane and Cole. For our villains, we get the Imperium Claw Hunter and the Imperium Guard Commander. Both come on their little hover flyers. We get an Imperium droid and of course the car build itself. Let's start by taking a look at our minifigures. First of all, we have our ninja, Zane and Cole. Both of them feature the new design with the new shoulder piece and mask piece. They have this cool gradient print on their torso that goes into the legs for Zane. They have golden symbols that are basically just the first letter of their name. And when we turn them to the side, you can see Zane has grey hands, Cole black hands. And on the back you can see this new armor piece holds two katanas. We can take a closer look at all the beautiful prints when we take off the mask and armor, which also reveals the nice new face prints for both Zane and Cole. Finally, we don't have a Zane print that looks super aggressive, even though he doesn't really look happy here either. Very neutral. The torso print, as with the other ninja, have some nice golden details. The torso print are a bit more simple than a lot of other ninja suits, but I think that works well with the overall more complex armor piece. If we turn them to the back, you can see the other face print, which is kind of this Prime Empire-like mask design. With Zane's looking very angry and he has some icy spikes on his mask, and Cole has some dark red boulders. Both ninja feature this dragon symbol on their back and some kind of elemental pattern. Here's a quick look how the ninja look with those alternate faces while wearing the mask and armor piece, as well as a look on how they look without the armor piece but with the mask, which I think looks kinda goofy. While this set doesn't come with hair pieces, I wanted to take the time to show you guys how the ninja would look with their hair pieces on. I think they look really cool. There's a big problem here though with Zane's, where you can see the alternate face on the back, which is especially sad because we've been waiting so long for a new, better Zane face print, and now it's not that usable because it shows the other face on the back. For our villain minifigures, we have the Imperium Claw Hunter on the left and the Imperium Guard Commander on the right. Both of them use this new shoulder piece in gold and black. Both of them also have really cool high-tech looking printing on legs, torso and face. We'll get a closer look at that later. And both of them also have new headgear pieces with this nice scarab or beetle looking headgear piece on the Claw Hunter and this big hat on the Guard Commander in black. When we turn them around, you can see this new armor piece has a stud on the back, and you can already kinda see they have printing on the back of their head and torso. If you've seen the other review, the Imperium Guard Commander has the exact same printing on the legs and torso as Raptin did, so they reused that for this character. When we take away the armor and headgear pieces, you get a very good look at that super cool sci-fi armor both of them have. I also really like the head prints, both of them look very mechanical, with the Claw Hunter looking very insect-like in my opinion, and the guard commander has just this big staring eye, which I think is a really cool design. When we turn them around, we can also see both of them have printing on the back of their head. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same print on different colored headpieces. And you can also see their cool armor design continued on the back with those cool orange power lines and some metallic golden printing. Very nice detailing. I really like the designs for the Imperium characters in general. These two villain minifigures also come with really cool minifigure weapons. The Claw Hunter comes with this new Imperium sword. This is a dual molded piece with a gunmetal hilt and trans orange blade. It looks really cool. It reminds me a lot of the Kitanas, but I personally think this design is even cooler. The Guard Commander comes with what they call an electric staff. This is a brick-built weapon built with a lightsaber hilt, a trans-orange round tile, and those new mech finger pieces. I think it looks really cool, especially for a guard. He has some kind of melee staff weapon. I think that kind of fits the archetype this character is supposed to be. We also get one non-minifigure brick-built character in this. It's the Imperium Droid. There are similar droids that come in some of the spinner sets, but this one is unique to this set, because it has golden antennas on his head, which the others don't. I don't know if that has any story relevance, I don't know if these guys are even gonna be in the show, but it's a funny little brick-built character. He's on this big orange dish, which is connected with a Lego microphone. That sticks kinda out on the bottom a bit, so I'm not sure because they don't really advertise it anywhere. But I think the intention might be to spin it around on that microphone piece at the bottom. Before we get to the car, let's take a quick look at the two hover flyers. Both of them feature a nice sticker in the front. They have two orange tiles at the back for like the engines. They have this nice gold and dark red design. Those two pieces in the front can be kind of angled, maybe put it in like an attack mode and a normal mode, but the instructions tell you to have them pushed in like this. On the bottom they have a big orange dish, but it's connected in a way where it can spin, so you can spin the whole hover flyer around while it's on that dish. You can just stand a minifigure on the hover flyer and then you can spin it more easily. This set comes with two hover flyers, both of them are completely identical, so you just repeat that build. It's time to look at the car itself. We've got the big spoiler in the back, some engine details, the nice seating area with the Dragon core. We've got the front with this big stickered panel and those icy spikes. Got a plastic wheel for the front pair and a wheel with a tire in the back. We want to put in our Zane minifigure, but once again he can't fit in there with his katanas on. But luckily this set has a place to put them. The katanas can be clipped to the spoiler in the back. The front of the box shows them pointing in the other direction, but I think this way they look cooler. Let's start looking at the car front to back. In the very front we have these nice slope pieces with katanas on them. There's this new ice piece. They also use it for lightning in one of the other Ninjago sets, but this is a new piece I think a lot of our Bionicle fan audience will appreciate. For example, I built a little ice dagger for my Gello here just to show how it could be used in construction mocks. There's a big panel in the front of the car with a massive sticker on it. It just shows the Ninjago letter Z. If we lift this panel up, we get a look at the engine of this car. This is done with another little sticker on a slope, and it kinda looks like Zane's heart or energy source, which I think is a cool idea for his race car. Moving a bit further back, we have these nice golden details. This is done with golden blaster pieces, which are a new recolor for this wave of Ninjago. We also have the Dragon core, which is the collectible for this wave. This Dragon car comes in blue, but there's a little bit of an opalescence to it. These Dragon cores are really cool pieces. There seems to be some dual molding going on where you have an outer shell in one color and the inner ball is some kind of different color. The Dragon core in this set also comes in the Nia's Bijutsu Power Drift set. Zane's seating area uses a lot of tan to make it look all nice and comfy. The steering wheel here is a gaming controller, which I think is a really fun part usage. You can move it a little bit up and down, but it's a bit hard to turn it. The seat itself works without any studs. You basically just slide Zane in there, which is pretty nice to do, but it has a bit of the problem that if you turn the car upside down, your Zane minifigure will fall out of the seat. Going further towards the back, we have another sticker with a nice ice design. We also have this engine detail or exhausts. They use another sticker here. This one has speed written in Ninjargon on it. In the very back of the car, we have the big spoiler we already looked at earlier. This one features two stickers. Both of them are identical, but one of them features the word ice in Ninjargon. I really don't like the way the stickers are placed on this, because there's this little round hole in that Technic panel. And you kinda have to partially sticker over that hole, which I think will probably collect a lot of dust on the sticker over time, and I don't think that's gonna be good for the sticker long term. If we look at the race car from the back, you can see 2 red lights as well as this golden exhaust. This piece actually plays a role in the function, but we'll take a closer look at that later. The race car is pretty much completely symmetrical, so it looks pretty much exactly the same from the other sides, except for some of the stickers are a bit different. Now let's get into the function of this car, because this car can do Spinjitzu. To start activating the function, you have to flip down this little black spoiler that's behind the bigger spoiler. This is kind of a security lock to not accidentally get into the function while you want to have it as a race car. And then we push on the spoiler. This will lift up both pairs of wheels, and I will show you in some more detail how exactly that works. The spoiler is attached to this L-shaped Technic piece in the back of the car. By pushing down the spoiler, you basically lift up the wheels because those are also attached to that same Technic piece. That Technic piece is also connected to a very long Technic beam. Pushing down the spoiler will also push forward that long Technic beam, which rotate a piece the front wheels are connected to, and that brings them up. With both of the wheels moved upwards, the car now stands on the Dragon cores and that golden engine piece. And that's what makes the Spinjitzu function possible. So here's how it all goes. Flip down the mini spoiler, push the big spoiler to bring up the wheels, and then just spin the car. I've played around with this quite a bit, and I've noticed the best way to do it is to grab it on that engine piece behind the seat. I think that way you have a good grip to make it spin. I also noticed how well the function works is a bit dependent on the surface area you're trying to do it on. It works pretty well in the little setup I have here, but it doesn't really work on carpet, for example, or if your surface is too flat, it will slide around a lot and not spin as well. But overall, I think this function works very well. The picture on the box suggests that you should knock over some of the Imperium characters on their hover flyers with that function. Sometimes a bit hard to plan where it will go once it spins, but it's a fun challenge. I also want to note that overall this car rolls very well. I know sometimes with those plastic wheels they slide around if you're on a flat surface, but because it has one pair of plastic wheels and one pair of rubber tires, I think it rolls very well overall. Of course, we get a bunch of spare pieces. There's a little microphone and a katana there, but nothing too crazy. The instructions are pretty much what you'd expect. There's this little progress bar again. This time it's Zane as the character showing you how far along you are, and there's an ad in the back showing you the other sets. There are quite some stickers for a set this size, especially the one in the very front is quite big too. And as I mentioned earlier, I didn't really like the stickers on the spoilers because of that little hole in the Technic piece. One thing I did notice here, and it's a bit hard to explain, is that the stickers seem to have this matte finish to them. They're not as glossy as the usual LEGO stickers. I don't know if I'm just imagining that, but it really seemed that way with this set and not with the other sets I built. Maybe they have some kind of new sticker material. Okay, now that we looked at all of the details of the set, I want to go ahead and give you my general thoughts about this. This set kind of is your classic Ninjago race car. It reminds me a lot of your X1 Ninja Charger or your Ninja Nightcrawler and sets like that, even though it's quite a bit smaller than those two. I'm just generally a fan that Zane finally gets a car like this. I always want every ninja to have one of each vehicle types, and Zane didn't have a race car before, so I think that's a good match. The build itself of the set is very simple, use a lot of slopes, but overall it's a very simple building process. There's some technique in there for the function, of course, but it's very easy to follow. It's a 7+ set, nothing too complicated. What I really like is the color scheme. The white and blue works very well with the icy aesthetic. It works perfectly for Zane and it just looks very nice. There are also some really cool pieces, especially those new ice pieces. The golden blasters and of course the dragon cores look very nice. What I also really like are these guys, the Imperium characters. I really like how their minifigures are printed, how those headpieces are designed. They're really quickly becoming one of my favorite Ninjago villain faction design-wise, because I just very much like that sci-fi aesthetic they have going for them. The one thing I would kind of maybe change about this set is that it doesn't have a windshield. I think it would have been cool if it had one. I tried a bit with my own pieces and I think it's doable, but I think it's just the design they wanted to go for, and I think that's fair. I overall just like the general idea behind the set. This is a car that does spinjitzu. I mean, we've had so many Ninjago car sets, and we've had so many spinner sets or sets that somehow replicate spinjitzu. And combining the two into one set, that's kind of like a really fresh and new idea, and I think it's just so Ninjago. And the function works. The function is fun. If you have a right surface, it can spin really well. I had a lot of fun playing around with it. The function with the wheels is super easy to move them up and down. So that's all very well executed. This set had 307 pieces, goes for $34.99, which we're above where we want to be price per piece wise. I also think like mass and volume wise, this is like maybe the upper limit of what I'd be willing to pay for something like this personally. I do think it's better than some of the other race cars we had recently. For example, Lloyd's Race Car Evo, which had the same dollar price but less pieces and one less minifigure. So I definitely think you're getting a better deal with this one compared to that. Overall, I think you will like this set if you care about the function. This set is basically built all around that spinning function, and I think if you care about that function, you will enjoy the set. If you don't care about this function, I don't think this is the set for you. I think the design of the car itself is nice, but pretty much most of it is made to facilitate that spinning function, the way the wheels are built, the way the dragon cores are attached, and I think the function is the big selling point of this set. So if that function looked interesting to you, this might be a set for you. If it didn't, I don't think you will get a lot out of this set you didn't get out of other Ninjago vehicles. Thank you so much for watching this review. I had a lot of fun doing it. Thank you so much to the LEGO Ambassador Network for sending us these sets. And I hope you will tune in next time to another Ninjago review here on Keep the Peace.